Hello, this is Random. No intro this time. I wanted to get this in. That way it isn't gone for too long without getting covered. Just after Curved Onion's video, where he covered this, which I heavily recommend you watch before this, Astro released his apology/response to the whole situation, which I will read full verbatim, word for word. Hello everyone, this is Astro. I wanted to make this statement to address everything that has been circulating recently regarding me and Sick. I know a lot of people have seen the screenshots, photos, and accusations being shared around, and before anything else, I want to sincerely apologize. Whether you were directly involved or simply happened to come across everything that was posted, I'm sorry that any of you had to see it. I know a lot of people have been disappointed, disgusted, confused, or upset, and I completely understand why. I've spent some time thinking about what happened, and I know that my actions have reflected poorly on myself and people around me. There are things I said and did that I genuinely regret, and while I can explain the context, I'm not trying to use it as an excuse. I understand that my actions still have consequences and that I need to take accountability. First, I want to address the situation involving my cats. I want to make something absolutely clear. I do not abuse my cats in any way. The screenshots that have been shared came from a call inside of a private friend group server where I had my camera on and I was acting immature and trying to be funny around my friends who I trusted a lot. Looking back on it now, I can fully understand why what I was doing looked disturbing or uncomfortable to people who weren't present or didn't have the full context. It was weird, and I completely understand why people reacted the way they did. That being said, I love my cats more than anything. They are healthy, cared for, and spoiled every single day. Anyone who actually knows me personally knows that they are constantly around me and that I take care of them. I never intended to harm them, nor have I ever abused them. Even so, I understand that intent doesn't get rid of how those clips and screenshots appeared, and for that I am genuinely so sorry. Secondly, I want to address the racist comments. The screenshots that has been circulated came from my girlfriend Misa's account. I was the one who made that comment. She had absolutely nothing to do with that, what was said, and she should not receive any harassment or blame for something that I personally wrote. It was one screenshot taken from the same private friend server where I was joking around with friends. That does not make what I said acceptable, regardless of the environment it was said in. I understand that it was offensive and immature. I take full responsibility for it. For clarification, I am Black, I am African American, and Puerto Rican, though I am very sorry for saying those things on Misa's account, so please don't blame her at all for something she didn't do. These events are also very recent, and that's why I'm making the statement now. Everything happened today, and I didn't want to stay silent while people were left with only screenshots and rumors to form their opinions. Felt it was important to speak for myself, acknowledge what I did, and apologize instead of pretending nothing happened. I also want to address some of the accusations being spread about me. I am currently 17 years old, and I turn 18 next February. I am not a zoophile, I am not a pedophile, nor am I any of the other labels that have been attached to my name over the past few hours. I understand why people have formed negative opinions on me after seeing the screenshots, and I accept the responsibility for creating that impression through my behavior. However, these accusations are simply not true. Everything that has been shared originated from a private server where I was acting immature with friends, trying to make them laugh. I realize now that acting this way, even if I believed everyone present understood it was a joke, was irresponsible. Addition, I do want to clarify that everyone else in the call that night was in my age range, 16 to 17. The only person who wasn't in the range was Cassidy, and that in which he encouraged the behavior by laughing the entire time it happened instead of trying to stop anything despite being the adult of the group. I do think that Cassidy, posting these images whilst poorly blurred, is incredibly dangerous to my safety. If you do read this, I truly hope you take them out or blur them better than how you did, because this is serious endangerment. Though I know that none of what I say can really truly change how people view me, and that is completely okay. I just want everyone to know that I apologized and took accountability for what I've done, and I want it to be known that I will be taking a needed break off the internet without interacting with anyone or anything besides those who I really, really trust. Another thing I want to say is that as much as what was spread around, still have no intent to release things about Cassidy out of the little respect that remains for him. As for the state of oblivion, that will be decided whenever I return from my break. Once again, I'm so very sorry for what I've done, and none of the sort will ever happen again. As for me, Curved Onion doesn't condone it, and neither will I. No harassment to anybody involved.